Do you give up too soon? And do you know when to give up? I was just watching a programme at the weekend. Here in the UK, we have a programme called The Voice. They have it in America too. I'm not sure if they have it anywhere else around the world. But if you're not familiar with it, let me just set it up for you. So there are 4 celebrity judges, celebrity singing judges. Here in the UK, we have will.i.am, Tom Jones, Meghan Trainor and Olly Murs. And the premise of the programme is that people come on an audition singing, and the judges are in 4 seats, and they have the backs to the person who's auditioning, so that they can only judge them on their voice alone. They can't see them. There are no preconceptions. There's no possibility of any preconceptions based on physical appearance or anything else. They're judged purely on their voice, and for that reason I absolutely love this programme. I also love it, but this is probably a whole other video, I also love it because there is a true collaboration and team working between the judges. There's no competitiveness, which is really, well, occasionally there's some competitiveness when there's somebody that's really good, but it's a really interesting dynamic, so I love it because of that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. And if we haven't met before, by the way, I'm Michelle Henshaw. I specialise in working with people in business on getting their lives and their businesses aligned. Quite often we're taught to disconnect those two things, and that just doesn't work. So I'm all about getting business and personal stuff aligned so that it can work really powerfully for you, and doing business mindfully and consciously. So I'm just talking about this programme, The Voice, that I was watching at the weekend. And something happened that was really interesting that I just wanted to share with you. This young woman came on who was she had an incredible voice. She also had an incredible style and a real sort of great energy about her. And she was singing jazz. And she was amazing. And the judges, you could tell, because we see on the programme that the judges' backs are to the singer, to the person auditioning, but we as the audience, we see all their expressions, and we try and work out what they're thinking. And they all were listening intently and really focused on her and listening to her style and her words and her incredible voice. And I think I can always tell when Tom Jones is going to turn his seat, because that's the object, is if they really resonate with something about the singer and they want to take them on and coach them, because they end up coaching a group of singers who then go into competition. If they want to coach them, they have to turn their chair. And if they're not the only judge that turns, they then have to pitch for them. So she was getting further and further on, this young woman, this incredible young woman, into her song. And it just didn't look like anything was happening to her, because all she could see was the back of the chairs. Now, we could see the faces of the judges. And I think I can always tell when Tom is going to turn, because he leans forward in his chair and he really listens intently, and you wonder what it is he's listening for. And then his eyebrow starts to give a little bit of a twitch, and you think, oh, here we go, Tom's going to turn. And it just didn't look like he was going to, although I was convinced that this singer was for him, was just right for him, and I was convinced he was going to turn. And I don't think the audience in the studio could work out what was happening either. But anyway, this young woman finished her song. She was obviously incredibly disappointed. You could almost physically feel her shoulders drop. And she put her microphone back on the stand, and she turned her back and walked away. But just at the moment that she did that, and just at the moment, the very second that she turned her back, Tom, just at the very last second, hit his buzzer and turned his chair. But she'd already turned her back, and she didn't notice. So she just thought nobody had turned for her, and that was it. Her chance was over, and off she went. She was walking off the stage, and the whole studio audience started clapping and pointing, and the musicians on the stage, as she got closer to them at the back of the stage, were going, turn around, turn around, turn around. And she turned, and she was just like, oh my God, I didn't think anybody had turned, and she was in total shock. And it was really interesting, because it really reminded me of a lot of conversations that I have with clients. That one of my favorite quotes that I'm quite famous for with my clients is, "The gold often lies beyond where you stop digging." You know, sometimes we can just give up that bit too soon. And something obviously happened in this young woman's mind that convinced her, before she'd even finished singing, before she'd even really given it time, something had happened in her mind that had convinced her that it just wasn't working, that she just wasn't going to get that turn. And off she went. And it was a real psychological thing. It was a really fascinating moment, because somebody did turn for her and she almost missed it. She almost missed that golden opportunity that she's probably been waiting for years. And so I thought I would just share that with you. And, you know, it relates to us in our lives and in our businesses, that sometimes things can just start to feel so hard, and we've been working at things for so long that we feel like giving up. And I get that. I totally get that. But just to take that extra little bit of time and effort, and to get the help, like this young woman got the help from the audience, to notice what was going on, to notice what happened, and to notice the opportunity that had been presented to her, made all the difference. That could quite feasibly change that woman's life. It could change that young woman's life. And so I really wanted to share that with you, just to illustrate how important it is to just, when you think you've just given it enough, to just give it a bit more. When you think you've had all the faith in whatever it is you're doing, or want to do, or want to happen, when you think you've given it all you can, just find that little bit more. When you think you've done everything you can possibly do on your own to make it happen, find someone to help you. Just reach out. Be brave enough to reach out and just push that bit further. The gold quite often lies just beyond where you're tempted to stop digging. So I really want to encourage you to not stop digging, and to think about that woman. And if you can find a clip of that, please do watch it. I think it'll be incredibly heartwarming, incredibly encouraging. As always, I would love to know what you think. Leave me your comments here. If you know someone that needs to hear this, or someone that would find this interesting, someone it would resonate with, then please do share it. And let me know what other things you want to hear about, and what you need help with, what you'd like me to talk about. I'm here to do whatever you need me to do and talk about whatever you need. So do let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.